Have you ever really stopped to think about what makes you, well, you? Not just your personality, but the actual instruction manual that built you from the ground up. Today, we're going to take a quick tour through the absolute essentials of life. We're talking from the tiniest invisible code all the way up to the massive web of life it creates.
So here's the big question that kind of blows my mind. How does this entire system, everything from a single tiny cell to a whole forest, run off of just one blueprint? How does that even work? That's the puzzle we're piecing together today, starting super small and then zooming all the way out.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the blueprint of life. Then, we'll check out what that blueprint actually builds. After that, we'll figure out where all the power comes from. And to wrap it all up, we'll see how everything is connected in the grand scheme of things. Ready? Let's dive into the code. All right, Section 1, the blueprint of life. If you want to understand how anything works, you've got to start with the instruction manual, right? Well, for life itself, that manual is written in an ancient language, one that's been around for billions of years.
And that manual? It's called DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid if you want to get fancy. But think of it like this. It's not just the blueprint for a single house, it's the master plan for an entire city. Every single detail is in there. We're talking everything from the color of your eyes to the exact way your cells are supposed to fight off a cold. It's literally the ultimate code for building and operating a living thing.
But hey, what's the point of a perfect blueprint if you can only use it once, right? You've got to be able to make copies. And that's exactly what heredity is. It's life's amazing built-in copy machine, making sure that DNA instruction manual gets passed down from parents to kids generation after generation. It's how the whole show keeps on going.
Okay, so we've got the blueprint packed with all these incredible instructions. So, what does it actually build? What gets made from all this code? Well, the answer is the most fundamental piece of the puzzle.
It builds the cell. The cell is the basic building block for every living thing. Seriously, think of it like a single Lego brick. Each one of these bricks is like a tiny, bustling factory, just humming with energy, working 24/7 to carry out the orders that come straight from the DNA headquarters.
But of course, not all factories are built the same way. Take a look at plant cells. They've got this tough, rigid outer wall for structure, and they have these amazing little solar panels inside called chloroplasts to make their own food. Animal cells, on the other hand, are a bit more flexible, no cell wall. And they don't have those chloroplasts, which means they've got to go find their food. These key differences, all spelled out in the DNA, are what make a plant and an animal an animal.
All right, so we've got our blueprints, that's the DNA, and we've got our tiny factories, the cells. But you know what? No factory on Earth can run without power. So, where does all the energy to run the incredible machinery of life actually come from?
I mean, really think about it for a second. Every single thing that happens in a living creature requires energy. A thought flashing through your brain? That takes energy. A flower slowly turning to face the sun? Yep, that takes energy too. So where is it all coming from? The answer is it's one of the most amazing stories in all of science. Well, for pretty much all life on this planet, the story begins with the sun, and the hero of that story is photosynthesis. It's this absolutely mind-blowing process where plants grab sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide and turn it into chemical energy. Basically, they make their own food, sugar. This makes them the planet's ultimate power stations, the foundation of almost every single food chain out there. Okay, so that's great for plants, but what about animals? What about us? We can't just stand in the sun and make our own food, right? So we have a different strategy. We eat things. Our digestive system is like our own personal fuel processing plant. It takes the food we eat, whether it's a salad or a steak, and breaks it all down into tiny, usable fuel molecules that our cells can actually use. But here's the thing. Just having the fuel isn't enough. You have to be able to unlock the energy that's stored inside it. And that's where your respiratory system comes in. Every breath you take brings in oxygen, and your cells use that oxygen to essentially burn the fuel from your food in a very slow, controlled reaction. This releases a steady stream of power that keeps all those trillions of tiny cellular factories running smoothly. So, let's recap. We've got the code, DNA, we've got the factories, cells, and we've got the power plants that run them. But here's the crucial part. None of this happens in isolation. So for our last section, let's zoom all the way out and see how this all fits together. And what we see when we zoom out is an ecosystem. You can think of it as the giant stage where the entire drama of life plays out. It's a complex community where all the living things, The plants, the animals, the microbes are constantly interacting with each other and with the non-living parts of their world, like the sun, the water, and the soil. And here's a super simple way to see how that energy we were talking about flows through an ecosystem. It's called a food chain. So, step 1, the grass, our producer, soaks up energy from the sun. Step 2, a deer comes along and eats the grass, transferring that energy into its own body. And step 3, a lion hunts and eats the deer, moving that exact same energy one more step up the chain. It's this incredible, direct flow of power that literally starts at our sun millions of miles away. And there you have it. It's all one big, unbroken chain. It starts with a tiny, invisible strand of DNA holding all the instructions. That DNA builds the cellular factories. Those factories are powered by complex energy systems, and all of that is woven together into this massive, beautiful, interconnected web that we call an ecosystem. Everything is connected.
It's pretty amazing when you think about how it all comes together, isn't it? Which, really, brings us all the way back to you, back to your own personal blueprint. So here's a final thought to leave you with. As you go about your day, think about the food you eat, the air you breathe. What part are you playing in this giant interconnected web of life?